API and got back a JSON payload, which we returned as a string to our view and then displayed it on the screen. So we're getting the data, but we're not doing much with it right now. Let's go ahead and copy this URL. And there's an app. If you don't have it, we can look at a terminal alternative, but there's an app called Paw. It's a great app. I recommend it. Sometimes they do giveaways on Black Friday. They did one this year, but it's a nice way to explore APIs. We'll go ahead and paste our URL in here, and you'll notice it recognized that URL parameter and our value. Put it right there. You can see if we hit Command Enter, it sends the request, and we get back a response, and it looks a bit like what we got before, right? Especially if we do this. And we can see that we get back a dictionary with various keys and values. And what we want to do with this, we need a way to represent this in our app. So I'll go ahead and talk about another app called Ducky, and I'll provide links to these so you can go download them. I like this app. There are alternatives. It's free. It works pretty well, and it can do output types for a couple of different languages. Let's go ahead and change the model name to Pod, and let's look and make sure we don't want to change anything else. For the most part, we'll just kind of stick with these default ones. It went ahead and it changed the names of these, the naming convention. Otherwise, we wouldn't need these coding keys. I'm going to go ahead and leave it just because we'll want that later. You can also see it auto-detected the URLs, but not the date, largely because of the format. That'll work for now. We'll leave it as it is, and then at some point in the future, we'll want to understand, or we'll want our model to know that that is a date and not just a string. So let's take this, let's copy it, and we'll hide that, and let's add it to our project. We'll go ahead and make a new file, Swift file. We'll call it pod model. We'll make sure it's set to our target. And let's pasted our input from the other app. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and clean up this view. Let's move network into its own file. So same procedure. We'll call it network. And we'll select it all and then replace it. We might actually need to do some includes here. Okay. And if we resume our app, we'll see there's no change, which is what we wanted, but we now have our networking code is now its own file, and we've set the foundation for our next video, in which we will take this model and we will we'll get it, the JSON data, and then we'll actually here in network, we'll actually try to return it as that model type. So until next time.